Darkenhaven. This is Game at the Black Table. We're going to be journeying to the Feyward Forest today, and we're actually the first episode where we're leaving Darkenhaven. But before we get into the episode, we've got some thank yous and some other things that we normally do here. So first of all, great thank you to Gooey Cube for creating this amazing world that we play in. And a further Gooey Cube contributor shout out is Jason Jacobs, who actually wrote the Black Table portion as a contributor to this. So this adventure that we're doing today is a lot because of Jason. Another shout out to Brina Luna Artwork. She does our character art. And Sirenscape is what we use for our sounds. We're using the Foundry VTT. And then the maps that we're using on the VTT today is from a Patreon map cartographer by the name of DM_Andy. So that's how you find him, DM_Andy. He was on Tavern Talks last week. Had a lot of great stuff. You're going to see some great maps today. And so if you like these maps, join his Patreon and get some awesome digital maps. We've got our Phil from Last Game Board is our guest for today. So in addition to having our Last Game Board promo, we actually have Phil from Last Game Board as our guest. And then the other thing I wanted to give a shout out is all of you all to get us up to that 500 follower target. So James has said he's going to get some maps made as kind of our celebration of 500 followers. So if you're a subscriber or a Patreon subscriber, we're going to get those out to you. All right. So at the beginning of every episode, we do some character introductions because the cast changes. We have different characters coming on as guests. So we will start the character introductions with Sigismund.
Oh, Sigismund. I am a true neutral paladin or a Gallatin, as they're called in the world of Gooey Cube, of Harmonia, who's the goddess of pacifism. But I have a checkered past as a violent man who is trying to make the world a little bit calmer.
All right, and new to Plots in Darkenhaven, Towson.
Yes, I am an Eldritch Knight's former acquaintance of Sigismund. I believe in neutrality as well, although I don't believe I'm as passive as Sigismund, but we'll see what happens with it.
And then our Maroon Fusilier, Stamond.
Hi there, my name is Stam, and well, I've been around the Custodians of the Condemned for a little while, and I, as you know, I don't put up a lot of nonsense if I can help it. We'll see what happens tonight. I think nonsense is the order of the day. So anyway, we'll see what I get to shoot tonight.
And our guest, Seven.
Well, he may be shooting at me a little bit because I'm all about the nonsense. My name is Seven. I'm a Way of the Shadow monk. I'm a bit chaotic and a lot good, and I go around doing whatever I can to make the world a better place, including making some people laugh a little bit if I can, and that is me.
All right, so we're going to do a little flashback for those of you who just kick you in on an episode. Most of our episodes are episodic, meaning that the story goes beginning, middle, and end by the end of the episode. But there is a little context that I think you need. So in episode 3, which is a Beast of Riverside, the group had a visitor named Adrien who came and asked them to find some beasts. Come to find out, these beasts were actually pixies who had been polymorphed and cursed to hold that polymorph. They were freed. They were talking about this game, and Adrien said, okay, well, if you get in the bag and leave these people of Darkenhaven alone and quit playing pranks on them, I'll see if I can get you into the game. So that was a little bit of background in episode 3. All of that stuff is going to come to fruition here in this episode. But before we get into the episode, I have a prologue. 7 arrives in a forest. The magic of this world is strong, but you can feel its corrupting influences. 4 great beings grow their dark agendas here. You sense many other great beings as well, which the various races of peoples in this world respect and worship. None of that is your task, however. Your power here is limited, and you must move quickly. The vision comes again, a jester who oversteps and uses his power beyond his understanding. This game will empower him to see that which he must not. You must stop him from ascertaining knowledge of this world's past. The game. The game. Your mind seeks to comprehend, and you see a great black table in a clearing. It is somewhere in this forest. You must find it and stop the fool before it is too late. However, try as you might, you cannot make it into the Feywild without getting lost. On one such expedition, you shadowed a ranger named Adrienne, who spoke to a group of small fairy folk. You overheard him tell the pixies and that they were excited about the upcoming game, and that they owed a favor to some people known as the custodians of the condemned in Darkenhaven. Perhaps you can convince these custodians to join the game and bring you along. You snuck away from the ranger and his pixie friends and made your way to Darkenhaven. All right, so we start our show as we usually do in the condemned building across the street from Flaxen Wagon Alley. Currently, Stammen is standing in the hallway near the kitchen, training his pistol down the hallway towards the target at the far end of the hallway. Yes, Stammen does do firing practice with his fusel indoors. Everybody loves this. Sigismund sits across in the waiting room from a good friend that he has known from his time in the God's Ward. And they're just having a conversation.
So tell me again why you think that violence is the only answer.
Bang!
As you can see, it is quite an unnecessary distraction at some points.
Bang!
The entire time we're here?
Get used to it. It's fine. You get used to it eventually.
I just don't fully understand why we have to
Bang!
talk about everything to death.
You don't have to talk about everything, but you have to give everyone a chance to change their mind and lead to... Let me put it this way. Let's say that you are fighting a beggar or a bandit who has stolen a ring from a noblewoman's purse, yes? And you kill him to retrieve the ring.
Bang!
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. What if this man was stealing the ring to sell to buy food and accommodations for his child?
Bang,
But
bang,
then,
bang!
growing up as an orphan, decides to find vengeance on someone, and he has a spot of magical talent. And after many decades or even hundreds of years, he becomes a lich. So your simple stopping of a pickpocket could lead to an evil that you could never have foreseen. All I'm saying is that every act of violence deserves to be considered before it's taken upon.
Far more likely that killing him means I get the ring back and then I get to go eat.
That's
Isn't
true,
that the
but
whole-
one time in 1,000 could lead to the death of an entire country.
Well,
Have you
you're
killed
not
more or less than
entirely
1,000
wrong.
people? Because many more than 1,000 have died under my word.
We know the answer to that question, but I don't think that. All right, now I'm worried that he's not shooting. What is happening?
You see him. He's changing out the core in his fusel.
His fusel ran out of charges. It's okay. It'll start back up in a minute. You start to miss it after a while. It's like the ticking of the clock. Eventually, you just stop noticing it, and then when it stops you, it's weird because something's missing.
You hear a knock at the door, and it's a fast paced tat 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 tat.
Here comes another opportunity, and I'll go and answer the door.
You open the door and there's a small child, and he hands you a letter, rolled in a scroll and sealed, and he holds out his hand.
Yeah, I'll give him a sylph.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And he runs off.
Well, let's just see what this urgent missive brings to us, eh? Stammen, come over here.
Stammen walks over.
There's a note. Everybody, take a seat, and we'll see what this is about. And Sigismund will sit down on his favorite couch cushion and his favorite chair, and begin reading the missive.
All right. So it is a missive from Adrien, and he is inviting you to see the wonders of the Feyweird Forest and actually meet some royalty of the Seelie and Unseelie courts and participate in the game at the Black Table. And you've heard that going into the Feyweird, it might not, a lot of people don't come back out to these pranksters and tricks and weirdness of the Seelie and Unseelie influences in the Feyweird Forest. So you're a little caution about this, and at the bottom he says, I will meet you in the town of Shiver on the Mithril River, and guide you through the Feyweird safely into the Black Table event, and then back to Shiver once we are done.
Would
love to see you in 2 weeks at in the town of Shiver. And as you finish reading this aloud to everyone else, and you look up, you see a gentleman sitting in the chair across the common room.
I look over at the door. Is that
Still
open?
closed? It did not open.
Hello.
You with you.
How the hell did you get in here?
Now, come on now. You heard what the gentleman said in his letter. We got to get going to the Black Table.
Stam,
come
that
out
was
of the
rude.
letter?
You didn't even ask for introduce yourself.
I'm
I'm
Stam,
Sigismund.
and I don't like it when people just sneak in and lie to us.
Stam, this happens once a week around here. What are you talking about? This is literally our job.
Yeah, but I remember this Adrian fella. I mean, he told us, "Hey, we're gonna go reclaim some poached beasts." You know how that went.
Oh yes.
Well, we had to tell you about it, huh? Because you went
Yes.
there. But yeah, Monty was there, and Savanur, and yeah. So anyway, he wasn't telling us the whole story, and I kind of feel like, well, he's probably not telling us the whole story here either.
Well, anyway, this is Stam, as he said, and I'm Sigismund. And do you want to introduce yourself, my friend?
Well, nice to meet you, Stam and Sigismund. My name is Seven.
7.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Like the
well,
number.
What do you know about the Black Table?
Well, I don't know if I can get into all of that right now, because this I can understand that you folk must be the custodians of the condemned. Is that correct? Because this
That's
place
us.
kind of,
Yes.
well,
yeah.
I can understand this place kind of speaks for itself.
Yes. Well, we don't get any funding from anyone, so we do the best we can.
Understandable. May want to take a broom up here and there a little bit, but I can make myself comfortable. And he sits back onto a cushion and dust kind of.
I think Dulcinea is working on some kind of sweeping construct thing, but I haven't seen it yet.
Can I do an insight check on 7 just to see what I can make of him?
Sure.
By his weapons, maybe where he's from, that kind of thing. That's gonna be a 16.
So what you notice about him is his I mean, you've traveled most of Verdestia. His clothes are not from Verdestia. His accent is odd. you wonder if maybe he's from Estrenia, but you've also met some Estrenians, like in Savanor, and they don't talk anything like this, and his clothes didn't look anything like this. And the thing that you notice about his clothes is that they are very, very well made. Like, so it's as if the stitching was done by somebody who is not only very precise, but also very strong. So, like, you can see his shoulder pads, his leather shoulder pads have like stitched, not riveted, not laced. So you're like, this is some very high quality stuff that he's wearing.
Tell me, friend, where are you from?
Well, not from around these parts, that's for sure. I traveled a long way because, you see, I got this inkling that something bad's about to happen. And from what I could tell, you folk might be the right people for the job to help me out.
It's true that this is Darkenhaven. There is almost always something bad about to happen, specifically here in Boogerton. But
Stam, and we've stopped a few. Yeah, we've stopped a few crises. Yeah, that's us.
Stam, you know more about Adrian and that sort of thing. So I'm going to defer to you and your knowledge on this one.
Well, what do you want to know? Adrian seemed like a nice enough fella, but he didn't tell us the whole story about these so-called beasts that we were rescuing. Yeah, they were pixies in disguise, polymorphed or something, I think. But anyway, yeah, he came to reclaim them, but he didn't tell us that, and so we go in thinking we're going to rescue these beasts and put down anybody that had captured them, and it came out a little differently when the truth was revealed.
That must have been those little folk that I saw him with back in the Fig. Weird.
That could have been. There was 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Certainly. Well,
how long will it take us to get there? I'm unfamiliar with the Fae as such.
So you know that going up the river to hold on a second, you probably haven't been to the small town or the town of Shiver, but you know that the bridge, the dragon bridge that goes to Dragon's Cross, there's a little a small, not really a dock, but where merchants will kind of anchor and offload to wagon trains crossing Dragon's Bridge. Getting to the Dragon Bridge, which goes down to Dragon Cross, is probably sailing upriver, probably about 10 days. So if it's past that, a little bit more than 10 days to get to the town of Shiver, and then you have no clue once you enter the Feyweird where this black table might be or how long of a journey.
Stam, you know I hate leaving Darkenhaven. But
of course,
it seems like we are not given a choice, and we have to make a decision now if we're going to go, because we are running short on time if we wish to provision ourselves and rent a boat. And
I suppose it comes down to what would the ghost of the magistrate want?
I haven't heard from him on this one yet. Was Adrian on my list of people?
No.
This one, and no 7 either. Yes, I'm assuming.
No 7 either on the list of people.
I mean, if he had something to say on this, I think he would have something to say. This is, he generally deals with people who have business in Darkenhaven, as that's where he was a magistrate. But certainly, if you had good experiences with this Adrian and you want to assist or be involved in these games, then we can.
Well, this whole Fae thing sends a shiver down my spine. But,
absolutely.
Adrian, while he was not completely honest with us, he seemed a nice enough fella. I think his intentions were good, even if his methods were a little suspect. If he says that we're averting some kind of crisis, I know the magistrate would want us to take care of it. So,
okay.
Hey, Towson, give me a history check.
You know, Stam, I briefly saw him as he was leaving, and he had that honest look of a beet farmer in his face, if you know what I mean.
A beet farmer? I'm
Beet
afraid
farmer.
I don't.
Okay.
That is here are the 2, 3. That's 3.
All right. So you've heard of this black table before, and apparently it is a game that happens once every 500 years, and so yeah, you're thinking that this is a very rare occurrence that is happening. For those in the audience, it happens every year, but you're thinking it happens once every 500 years that the Seelie and Unseelie courts get together and do this thing at the black table, and it's very interesting to you that you guys have an invite to this thing that happens once every 5 centuries.
Came to this location where most of it's kind of falling apart. All right. Well, if you decide it's something you would like to do, I will go. I will travel with you. We will do it. And because I'm fairly certain somewhere one of us still owes someone something from prior games. So maybe some tables will even that out.
All right. So I assume you guys are going to find a boat to go upriver.
Yes, I think that's, if it's truly something that only happens every 500 years, it's a little close to Darkenhaven. We should probably, even 10 days for the Fae, is really close to Darkenhaven. So we should probably go and see that.
All right. So you rent a boat with a Myroon merchant who sails you guys up the river. Let me show the map here for you all. So you are in Darkenhaven now. You sail up the Mistrum, and then probably about 4 days on the river you get to Pendrugan, and that's where it splits, where the Mistrum continues north and the Mithril River continues to the east. You guys stop there. The merchant sells some wares during the day, offloads some stuff. You get some more supplies, and you head down the Mithril River with another short stop in Fuddlesdown. And then, and this is probably about a little over half your trip, and it's been pretty uneventful. You're meeting new people. You're seeing these towns for the first time. Some of you, definitely 7. And then you finish at the Dragon Bridge, just north of Dragon Cross on the Mithril River, and at this point, the merchant says, I've got no real reason to go to Shiver. Now, he said he would take you there, but
how about the fact that we hired you, sir?
Well, you hired on as protection, and well, this has not been very, very much need of your services. So
indeed,
so
and it would be a shame if you needed protecting from someone right here at the end, wouldn't it?
My hand is on the butt of my pistol, but not, nothing other than that. Just.
Stammen, give me an intimidation check, and Sigismund, give me a persuasion check.
That's a 17 on the die.
17 on the die for me too, so I think that's an 18.
Yes, a deal is a deal.
Yes,
It'll just take us a couple more days to get to Shiver, and yes. And you could see he was just trying to offload you early and head on back, and not have to spend another 4 or 5 days on the river.
I reach over to Sigismund and I just put my fist up.
I fist bump him, and then just as soon as he turns around, I walk over to the guy and slip 5 gold in his hand. Say, thank you. We appreciate it.
You're a big softy,
see that
Siggy.
happen?
All right, so you get dropped off in Shiver, and you meet up with Adrien. Um, and let's see here. I think, yes, I do. I have Adrien's art there. So you meet up with Adrien, and he says, "Oh, Stamond, it is wonderful to see you once again.
Well, here we are.
Are you ready to play in the great game at the Black Table?
As ready as
It
we'll
would
ever
be
be.
fun. It would be good. And the other thing is, it's to decide some of the political things here in the Feyweird Forest. You see, the houses of the Unseelie and the Seelie courts, they wager on how you will do in the game. It's perfectly safe, perfectly safe. And it is often they use a non-Feyari as the folks that they bring into the game, and they make wagers on there. And so I will take you through the Feyweird Forest. It'll probably take us a good week and a half of travel, but you'll see some wondrous things on the way, I promise you. And it is nice to get an invite to this thing that happens once a year.
Yeah, we're honored. What aren't you telling us?
As he says that, I wink over to the other guys.
I think you mean once every several years, right?
No, every annum we have a game at the Black Table. It keeps if we waited 5 or several years or several hundred years, I think we'd be in all-out war with these courts fighting one another over the Feyweird Forest. It's once an annum that they hold these things. It's still a great thing to be invited.
Of course.
Harmonia, give me peace, please.
Yeah, of course. I don't know. I was thinking of something else. We're fine.
Stan, I have a very good friend that his name was Captain Kierk. He had a beautiful ship called the Enterprise, and he just every once in a while would get kidnapped and taken to be some sort of gladiator for people that he didn't know, and I think that's what's going to happen to us today.
Well, I appreciate your insights into that. I think you could be right.
And I can't help but feel like they're going to separate us for some reason. And I really hope I'm wrong.
Nothing like this. No, you will be perfectly safe. And I give you my word, I will protect you.
There is one thing that you probably will not do that is probably the worst thing that could possibly happen, and that is me listening to Savanur go on and on about whatever it is that makes him tick. But if I don't have to do that, I think I put up with it.
Right.
I don't know why you and Savanur can't get along. Think of all the help he could give you with your fusils if you would let him look at
I completely respect his work, especially in combat. He is a reliable companion. But as soon as he opens his mouth, I just find offense.
Like a picket or metal?
Yes, neither of those things, anyway.
Sorry, it's not my first language. I don't understand idioms yet.
So Adrien takes you into the Feyweird Forest and starts leading you. And on the way, he kind of tells you a little bit about it. Deep within the Feyweird Forest, in nearly exact center of the Feyari territories, you see there exists a secret glade, which has been cleared of the thick undergrowth that pervades the rest of the woodland. The canopy of the surrounding trees stretches to shade much of the clearing, but fails to block the light from illuminating what lies in the glade's heart. Here, the snow rises, almost head-high, plateauing onto a surface as smooth as river rock, marred only by lush, verdant moss scaling its sides. Neat, even steps are worked into the side of this mound, without seam or crack to show what hand made them. At the top of those steps, a long, rectangular table sits, shaped from some dull ebony stone that draws the eye without reflecting any light back. Complete with high-backed chairs, matching stone, it looks much like a dining table, yet there are no dishes. Instead, the entire surface of the table has been carved with intricate designs, Some of these appear as they might be words, but others are all pictograms and shapes that don't really readily suggest any meaning. This is the Black Table of the Feyweird, an ancient place where the Feyari gather once per annum under a banner of truce to settle scores. Indeed, an age ago, long before the Woe of Ruin, a treaty was made, and oaths binding both Seelie and Unseelie were struck. If all sides agreed, then the contestants at the table would put their fates in the outcome of a game, and all that was left was to bring the players any motions to you. Many differing grievances have come to the Black Table over the centuries, and the playing of many games has averted much bloodshed down through the annals. Indeed, even in war, when the fighting between the courts had become alarmingly costly in terms of blood and equally detrimental to all sides as a whole, the warring courts will sometimes agree to come to the Black Table in order to mitigate the deaths of the Feyari on all sides of this destructive conflict. But what is most likely intriguing about the Black Table is that the Feyari agreed to a game that is quite reliant upon the wits and abilities of the non-Feyari. Early in Marnoon, every year, the courts search out for a group of champions who are drawn to the Black Table by hook, by crook, or by twist of fate, like this, and asked to play their game as the Seelie and Unseelie courts wager their own fates on the outcome. And at this point, I'm going to shift over to any of our viewers. I think that we've posted the form in. That form will only be available for a little bit more time for you to join one of these Seelie or Unseelie courts and place your wagers as to what will happen in the game. And then once we get underway, I will pause that. We'll take a short break, and I will see what everybody wagered on and post that as well in the chat. So you guys make camp. This is kind of his explanation of what is about to happen as you've camped for the first evening. And he tells you that you'll probably be in the forest for about a week and a half to get to the glade. And he finds these places along the way where it's like the perfect campsite. It'll have like an overhanging rock or a group of trees that make a perfect symmetrical circle. It's almost as if the forest itself made these for folks to come and seek respite along the path, or there is no path as they make their way through the Feywild.
It sure does help knowing someone who knows the way, because I got lost here way too many times.
Yes.
My friend, that's probably because of the magic of the Feyweird. You probably got turned around because it takes someone who understands the Feyweird itself to guide from point to point. If you use a compass, it's useless. And you're like, yep, absolutely.
Hey,
Yeah.
Seven, have you been in one of these contests before?
No, sir. Not
You've been
one of
here
this
before.
time. I've been here before, yes, many times, wandering around what seems like circles. But finally, I'm glad to actually find my way. By the way, I've been meaning to ask you for a couple days now. What were you shooting at the house?
The
I was
target.
kind of a little.
There's a target
There's a target
down the hall. Yeah.
Well, that makes more sense than what I saw through the window.
I thought he was just shooting at my patience.
Yeah. What did you think I was shooting at?
Oh, it could have been a rat or just the wall, like looking at the how torn down and condemned the place looked like. I thought you were just
shooting
adding
the
to
building
it.
apart. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep, just a target. Sorry to disappoint you.
All right. So you spend the next week basically going from these campsites to campsites on through the Feywild Forest. And then one morning, he wakes everybody up. Today's the day. We will enter the glade this evening, most likely, if we push on through. And then the game will begin as night falls and the stars come out above the above the glade. It's a magical thing we will experience. And so you guys walk throughout the day, and you come to this path, and as you're walking, you hear up ahead, where you can see that glowing, you hear lots of different hubbub and song and people coming together. And then you make your way into the glade, and this huge open glade opens up, and at the center, like he said, is this almost like stair step and plateau, and at the table is seated 5 people. But what is most odd to you is you've traveled this whole way through the Feyweird, being directed by Adrienne, and you haven't seen for a week and a half any of the Fey, as if he knew how to avoid running into some of these Fey creatures, or perhaps the forest itself gave a path to those that the Seelie and the Unseelie allow into the forest without being bothered. But you see lots of different things. You see a odd wolf that looks like it has protuberances and odd glowing things coming up, and it's got this flame coming off its hair, this green flame. And you see like a few of those just kind of laying around and watching you as you come into the glade. You also see this odd mushroom thing, and as it kind of clobbers through the glade and across your path, Adrian says, "Oh, that is a bollybonk. You don't want to get on the wrong side of a bollybonk." And then you hear the music.
I don't know what side is the wrong side.
Yeah, they look kind of comical to me.
It's like a winner's dance ornament.
You don't want to upset one. If you can make them laugh, that's great. They might even give you a boon of some sort, but you don't want to upset one. The fungus that grows from them can be very, very bad, especially if they get angry and they start to expel spores and whatnot. That's no
so
good.
it's like mood fungus.
It could
Probably what happened to them wolves.
I'd say so.
And then you hear the music, and there's like 3 of these things playing a pipe, playing a drum. One of them is even singing in this really high-pitched melody. And he points, the music of the Grin Singer. Oh man, I do love coming here this part of the year. It is a most wonderful thing, and you can't always trust the Unseelie, but here you see a lot of things that elsewhere you would not, like that. And he points over, and you see this very large clawed thing kind of shambling through the glade, and he goes, a Nightwalker. You definitely don't want to see those in a place where a truce hasn't been set. They definitely don't want that. Only one I've seen is here.
Are you making these words up as the way through? Because there's no way these are real words.
At the same time he's saying that, my hand goes over the paladin's face like this, like just touching to make sure that he's real. I'm like, I'm not imagining this. You're real, okay? Right? Because this is just kind of freaky.
Well, me? Yes, I'm real last time I checked. But please, I need a little bit of quiet for just a moment, please. And the whole time that we've been,
I don't think you're gonna get it with all the music.
Sigismund has been meditating a lot more, and Sigismund doesn't work out as much as he used to, because Sigismund is like, he's over 50 now, and he's like he's come to rely more on his wisdom than his physical strength. But the last few days during his meditations, he's actually started to resume some of the martial exercises that he used to do when he was in the service.
Then this comes fluttering over and lands on Stammen's shoulder. Oh, nice to see you again.
Well, hello.
You've come to play the game with us.
Oh, do I recognize
Yeah.
this one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's you. Well, I'm very glad I did not shoot you on that particular day. It is nice to see you again.
I think maybe you did, but that was before I was a Quenda, the big shuffling thing. Yeah.
I was pretty careful not to shoot the beast. I thought we were trying to save you.
Oh well, somebody shot me with something.
Yes, I believe some of my companions did shoot you, yes.
But I'm so glad you're here and you're going to play the game with us. Come meet the queen and the princess.
Well, thank you
and all
very
the royalty
much.
of the Seelie and Unseelie courts. And she kind of like flutters up to the table.
I guess I'll follow her.
I would follow Sigismund's lead. If he begins to move towards the table, I guess I will too.
All right. A woman sees you approaching, and at first you can't really even you can't even comprehend what you're seeing. It's kind of like vines and roses all wrapped together, and in somewhat of a humanoid shape. And as she descends, she takes a different shape that is much easier to comprehend, and she looks like a human. Well, hello. I am the Rose Queen of the Thorns of Briars. I see that since one of our guests likes to look like us, perhaps I will look like you to make you feel more comfortable. And she sees the confusion on your face. Oh, no, not you. The jester already in the game chooses to look more like one of us, I guess, or perhaps it is his blood making him look this way. But I hope that you will serve for this game that we play. We all make our wagers, and we are still making these wagers as we speak, as to how you will play the game at the black table.
At the mention of the jester's name, I'm going to like disappear and like kind of slip away into the shadows and try to make my way over there to see if I can see this guy.
You only see four other people at the table, or four other beings at the table. None of them are in kind of jester attire or anything, and you know that the people you're looking at the table are definitely Feyari. They are definitely these type of weird people. She's the only one looking normal, and she made herself look this way to greet you all.
Sigismund will bow in such a way that he would find correct and prudent in front of any royalty, and he will say, "Your Highness, yes, we are here to hopefully expedite these proceedings so that peace can be restored to the Fairy."
Oh, yes, thank you. That is why we use the non-Feyari in our games, because your short and meaningless lives sometimes help us to see things we normally would not in the reactions to the great game. And as you see the pixie, the pink pixie that was on your shoulder stem, and flies over to the table, lands on it, puts a hand on the table, and disappears. And then you see Adrien walk over to the table, bow to the people at the table, put his hand on it, and disappear. Let me, and she looks over her shoulder, give you some advice. Don't trust
Queen Charlnessa of the Gnarlson Roots. She's not to be trusted. She's an unseelie that is, well, she betrays those she makes promises to, not like myself, the Rose Queen. I may be unseelie, but you can trust anything that comes from my lips to yours.
Absolutely. I would ask, what in particular has she done to betray? I'm going to guess you at some point.
Oh, no, she's never betrayed me openly, but she did decline my son's engagement. And
Most
after...
mortal of sins.
Yes, he's quite broken-hearted. At any rate, come, meet the rest of the royalty of Feyweird. And she, walks up to the, up to the top and takes a seat at one of the 5 seats at the table. And then she motions over to another lady that is obviously more a Feyari as you might think them. And she goes, "This is Princess Alase." And she stands up. She doesn't really do a curtsy. She kind of does this weird, almost bestial, head thing, and brings up her claws as if to say hello, and it's kind of disconcerting. And she says, "Very nice to meet you all. I am Princess Alase, the Sealy Court of Amber Shoe." And she points over, and you see, if I can, there it is. Another of our Amber Shoes is here to witness. Someone who knows a little bit more about your kind. And this is Carissa Amber Shoe. And she points basically down the hill, talking to one of the bollybunks, is this lady. And as if hearing her name from across the way, looks up and waves at you. "So it is nice to see how you might enjoy our game. And I have a boon for you." And she pulls out a bottle of what looks like cider. And she goes, "Amber Shoe cider. Oh, I'm sure in your home this would go for 150 to 300 golds. Feyari Amber Shoe cider." And she holds it out as if not to know who your leader is or who to give this to.
Is this the queen of the Amber Shoe?
Princess.
Princess? Yeah, the one with the horns and the
Yes.
green kind of. I'll reach forward if she's offering it.
Yep. And
Please, Stem. Everyone knows that it is impolite to take a gift from nobility without something to offer in return.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Especially among the Fey courts. It would be a insult to your sensibilities, yes?
Would you have something from your world that you would like to share with us?
I would have a couple different trinkets if it would interest you. And I'm going to look at Sig and Stan both as if making sure I'm not imposing. But I might have something that would
I've
be of
lowered my
interest.
hand once the strings were attached. I was just kind of like, I don't know what to do in this company.
I'd produce a small medallion. It's actually in the shape of a lantern that you would see hanging maybe on a carriage or something. But it's done in brilliant jewels, all rainbow of colors across. It's a symbol of the god Kisis, and I would slide it across the table as a gift. Being a once every 5 century activity, I think it's worth this level of token.
And she gives you the bottle of Amber Shoe cider and takes it and looks at it, and then kind of puts it on the ground next to her chair. At this, a male Feyari stands up
and he doesn't bow. He just stands up straight.
Prince Keltarin of the Unseelie Court of Vile Vines.
Nice to meet you, Sigismund.
Nice to meet you, Sigismund. Will you perform well?
One would hope.
And how strong do you think you are? Perhaps how many foes might you defeat?
Depends upon the foe, I would imagine, but I'm not as strong as I once was, but as my friend used to say, I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm good once as I ever was, yes?
Yes, yes.
And he shifts some tokens on the board away from the center, back towards his pool of tokens. As if not wagering as much as maybe you might think.
Well, okay, so Stam, being a card player, probably understands exactly what has happened here. Yeah,
I'm gonna
What-
appear right, like I'm gonna shadow step right behind him and kind of whisper, I don't know about that.
Tricks.
We do like tricks. And he takes one of the tokens he had pulled back and puts it back into the center.
Corey, what do we know about the
I just
Seelie
go like
versus
this.
the Unseelie player?
So you know that like since the old times before the woe, the Seelie and the Unseelie have been sort of at odds. You know that the Seelie are more hospitable towards folks in their forests. They, for the most part, they're still strange. They're still odd. But the Unseelie are really, they're kind of the ones that would maybe do dark rituals with people who came into the forest, maybe, trick them and corrupt them. Not that the Seelie wouldn't try and trick you, but they may not try and corrupt you or use their own ends, so to speak.
So when he does that, knowing what I know about the Seelie and Unseelie, I'm going to say, yes, we are full of all kinds of tricks. And then I'm going to make as if to do a fancy sword flourish or something, and in the middle of it, I'm going to fall.
Like fall down?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, very
Sorry.
not as tricky. Not
slippery
as
footy.
tricky.
Yes.
Not as tricky as your friend here.
No, indeed, no.
and then he leans over to you, Seven, and whispers in your ear.
I may have a job for you after this is done. Perhaps you can help me with a problem with my uncle.
And he points across the way, and you see someone who looks a little bit like him, same kind of skin tones and whatnot, also wearing the banner that you see on his or kind of on his tabard, which is basically a flayed man wrapped in brambled stems. So it's like somebody who's like been torn by brambles and stuff on his tabard. And you see that same tabard when he points to his uncle.
See me after the game, perhaps. Perhaps I have a job for you.
I
Corey,
like your cowl.
Nobody else heard
I'm just gonna reply back to him, like neither like acknowledging or denying his request. I'm just gonna say, I like your cowl.
Corey, as I'm getting up from having fallen, is there a way in which I can get up so that I am looking at the princess, but not at the Seelie princess and not the Unseelie?
You can see the princess, but you also see another fae sitting next to her that you're not sure is Seelie or Unseelie, and I can show his picture as well. This is it, so you can see
goodness.
her, and this person is sitting next to her.
As I'm standing up, I would like to channel divinity. I'd like to give her like my most like sly smile, as almost to try to give away what I've just done and I'd like to use Channel Divinity to cast Emissary of Peace on myself and give myself even more persuasion.
All right. Okay, she
So there's like a light, like my eyes glow a little bit momentarily as I'm standing up, and it just shoot her a look.
okay. You see her, it's like as if she doesn't get what you're doing, but this person next to her nods and shoves more into the center. And as he does it, he goes, yes, I am glad you have come. Did you introduce yourself as Sigismund?
Indeed, yes.
Great warrior of Radion, I presume. I've heard of you.
Oh, at one point, but now it's Harmonia. Thank you.
Have a seat. And a chair appears behind you.
It would be rude not to, so I'll have a seat.
You fall onto the ground, and he goes, and you see that
I'd
this is
walk
just an
over and help
illusion
him
of a
up.
chair. I am, of course, the laughing king of the Sealy court of Feyenringrad. Yes. Nice to meet you, Sigismund the
Indeed.
Terrible.
What a beautiful joke. I have always been a fan of those who choose a good prank every now and then. It is my pleasure to meet you. Your Highness.
Yes. And Alice, he bows real deep. You should have heard. Maybe I'll tell you once they start the game, but the wagers will be done by then. This great paladin.
Please don't. I would prefer that my duties today, my deeds today, represent myself and not the things that I've done in the past.
Oh, well, but it is such a great story.
Indeed.
Perhaps for another day then.
Perhaps.
And he sits back down. And then lastly, this very stoic looking person stands up. King Drakwith, the unseelie court of Gnarlson Roots. Perhaps you have heard of my sister and I, Queen Shalnessa. We rule together, and it is my turn to sit at the black table. And then he leans as he sees the Laughing King kind of, getting real close to Princess Alice. You see him darken, his vision gets dark. Well, let us begin with this game.
Indeed. Let me just check on something very quickly.
Yeah, so... Sorry, are you doing something?
No, I'm just checking to see if those pesky advertisement flies are still in the area.
Oh,
if we should clear those or not.
Well, it's actually a good time for me to shut down the form and tally some numbers to see what the wagers are. And then I will post that so that James can put that in the chat. So let's take a 5-minute break here anyway, so that I can shut down the form, see what the wagers of our guests and all the people in the den and all the people watching have voted on as far as what the Sealy and Unsealy lords and ladies have wagered on your behalf.
I don't think we're on break yet.
The camera looks like I can still see myself.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back. By the way, those pesky advertisement flies, if you don't want them, you can just subscribe to the channel and you will not have to see the advertisement flies. But we did have to take our own break so that we could see what everybody who was participating in the giveaway that filled out the form, what their wagers were. So we should be linking into the chat a wagers document. It's basically just a Google Doc shared with everybody showing what the most common answers were from each of the houses that you all, the viewers, are playing. So the wagers have been placed. It is time to enter the black table. And King Drackwith looks to the black table and says, "You already have one group of champions playing the game. This second group," and he points to the four of you, "please join the game." And he basically shows you, take your hand and put it over the table, and there are some places where you see basically a handprint with runes and whatnot and squiggly lines all around it.
Yeah, I'll walk up and touch one of them.
Yep.
All right.
I will march up
We're
as
here, I
well. It's
suppose.
time to get this done.
I'll do the same.
All right. You feel this kind of almost like a whirlwind through your mind. You feel like your equilibrium is shot. You feel like you're staggering. You close your eyes, and then as you open your eyes, that feeling has completely gone away, and you are standing in a circle of stones. Standing next to you is Adrienne, two of the pixies, and what looks almost like a fairy with horns, black and white horns, and a painted face like a jester. And there's each of these stones has kind of this greenish glow on them. It's not on the map, but there's this greenish glow on these. And again, I have to shout out to Andy, DM_Andy on Patreon for these awesome maps. So you're standing in this circle of stones, and each of the stones is glowing. And as you appear, this jester person bows real deep and goes, "It is good to meet you all. I am Lokaput Macabre, and I have journeyed here. I am so lucky to be a part of this game. You are a part of it as well. We will see who wins. I will touch the last stone. I know I will. It has been seen in my head. I will be the one to touch the last stone and get the boon." He looks at you. "They did not tell you about the boon of the last stone?"
They didn't really tell us much of anything.
"Oh, that will make it much easier for me to get the boon. Great knowledge will be mine."
I will say that, just between us, yes? Absolutely. They told us there were other players at this game. And I'm assuming since we're in the same spot, it's not you. There's someone else. Yes? They told us that they had fed some of the players false information. And that instead, at the end, you were to bow to the stone and not touch it. Because most hideous things will happen if you were to touch it.
All right, give me a deception roll.
I'm not great at deception, but it's a middling dice roll. Let's see. Deception, I actually have a +2, so 14. But Lokabet, I'm sure is going to roll well.
So Lokabet looks at you, and then he looks at Adrienne, and he sees a smirk on Adrienne's face, and goes, "I see what you're doing. You are trying to set us astray. Well, we will be getting on with the game then. See you soon, toodaloo." And he runs over to this stone and touches it and disappears. And Adrienne waves at you, and the two fairies also go and touch this stone, and they all disappear.
Is that the jester that I saw in my dreams?
It is. And then as they touch the stone and go into it, that green glow dissipates from it.
Right. Well, now down to
I'm
business.
running fast at the stone, even
No,
though I'm probably not going to be able to.
No,
You run at the
I'm
stone
running.
that they went into,
Yeah.
and you go to touch it, and nothing happens when you touch it.
So all the other stones are glowing?
Yes.
Do we want to?
And apparently
use
they
the
have
same one
claimed
like we
whatever
did?
is in that one, and are doing whatever is
Well,
the game.
hang on a moment. We don't know how long they were there, and this is some fairy bullshit. So maybe we take a minute and like look at the markings on the stones, see if there's anything different, because everything is a trick.
Yeah. And what if, like, the four of us could each touch one of those stones and take all four of them away?
Well, it appears to have teleported them somewhere, would be my guess. So
Yeah.
maybe teleporting 4 random directions with no backup or assistance might not be.
Yeah,
a
I
great
hate that idea too. As soon as I
appreciate
said
the
it, I hated it.
enthusiasm. Yes, yeah, absolutely.
All right, let's go. Let's go somewhere else.
Look, it was creative, lateral thinking, and no idea is a bad idea.
Well, we talked it out. All right, let's pick another stone.
We did.
All right,
What do they-
thank you for
what-
that, because then I would be managing 4 maps simultaneously. Thank you.
All right, let's pick one of these other stones.
In the meantime,
On the
while they were
opposite
having this
one?
conversation, I had already run over and touched the next stone. Like, you're
Which
getting
one? The
away.
one to the left or the one
Yeah.
to the right?
The one to the right.
That one there?
All
Yeah.
right, well, he's already made a choice. All right, damn it.
Well, hang on, because he may just disappear, and there may not be. The magic may go away.
All right, so that means we shoot. You
yeah,
all take
I'm right behind
this.
him.
All right, so that one is off the table. You all run. You touch it. Oh yes, okay. There we go. You find yourself on a trail in this misty wood with high cliffs along, to the south, to the west, to the north, and then you see. Oh, there we go. You see, high atop a cliff to the northwest. You see Joss. Joss is standing there, the carpenter from Flaxen Wagon Alley, and he's like, I have no reasons. I cannot help it. I have no reasons. Nobody wants to buy my signs, and he's just getting ready to jump. Further, you see the Linry from he's a Skundruz who has found some dark things in his past, and he as well is standing up atop the cliff, and he says, "Oh, it is not. I have learned things I should never have learned. I have lived things I should never have lived. It is time for me. I shall perish here and now." And he gets ready to jump. Then you see atop another cliff to the north is Ensavanor, and Ensavanor is it says, these arcane things don't. I can't do Ensavanor's accent. Sorry, Alan, if you're watching. These arcane things, when they boggle my mind, I cannot grasp these things anymore like I once did. It is time for my life to end. And he gets ready to jump. And to the southeast, you see Dulcinea. And Dulcinea looks down. Hi, Sicky. I can't build anymore. I've broken my tools. It's nothing. There is no life for me without my tools. I cannot build. I cannot make. It's time for me to go. Goodbye, Sicky. And then over.
She didn't
on
even
the-
talk to me.
What?
And then to the southwest, up on a cliff, you see Godfrey, and Godfrey says, "I have lost my faith. I cannot go on without it. The divine is no longer within my powers, is no longer within my touch. It is time for my life to end." And you realize that all 5 of these individuals are about to jump to their demise. You know that you cannot save them all. You know that perhaps, maybe, if 2 of you could get to one of them and try and catch them,
you might be able to save 2 of them. If you all 4 split up, there's a good chance that each of you wouldn't be able to save them. What do you do?
Well, the little ones will be easier to catch. I'll tell you that right off the bat. That's Dulcinea and Joss. So
I
I'm gonna
smell
look-
fairy bullshit.
well, yeah.
Because which one of these individuals do you think needs? I don't know any of these individuals. Do we not like anyone in particular? Is there one we can pretend isn't here?
They're all friends of ours.
Okay, all right.
How far
Well,
away
which
is
one's the
Joss?
biggest?
That the biggest would probably be either in 7 or Valinri.
Tossin is a very large mountainous man. He's actually half ogre, so he's nearing 7 feet tall and he's gigantic. So whichever one is the largest and they tell me, I will go help that individual.
All right, to keep this moving, because they are getting ready to jump, let's go on a knit. There's no combat, but we're going to go on a knit at any rate.
All right.
15.
Oh, you're not rolling for us?
No.
Oh yeah,
no,
you do roll for us on this, don't you?
I couldn't. Yeah, I guess I can do that. Hold on.
I just got a dirty 20.
No, go ahead and roll for yourselves. We'll let 7 make the first choice.
Yes.
All right, 20 or better. That would be 7, I presume.
Mhm. All right, I see the closest person to me that I could handle because I'm not super strong. I run in that direction, and then I start parkouring my way and shadow stepping up the cliff to like grab onto the back of their coat or something, if I could get
All
up
right.
there.
All right, so you're gonna try and make it up to here.
Yes.
All right, so you're gonna try and make it up to there. We're gonna say you're about here at the end of the round. That was 20 or better, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14,
15.
15. All right, we will start with Stamond. Go ahead.
So I'm a little bit slower of stride, so I think I'm gonna head over to Ensavanur and head up towards him.
All right, so you get to here. You're standing directly under Ensavanur. Sigismund.
How tall are the cliffs?
You look up and you're like, how tall are these cliffs? And you're trying to logically suss it out, and you think they're maybe 100 feet, but then as you look up, they seem to stretch farther away from you.
Right.
As if the more you focus on it, the higher they look. But yet their voices carried as if they were right next to you. It's very odd, very odd.
So I want to move here, and as no one else has taken an action on their turn, can I also take an action besides move?
Yes, you may take an action.
Where is Josh located? Josh is way over there, huh?
Josh is way over there on an edge of a cliff.
Then on this one, that's the closest in front of me, who I have not met. I don't think I know. Who this
Valinri,
is.
yes.
I will cast sleep and see
All
what
right.
happens.
Okay. And last but not least, Towson, what do you do?
Seeing as everybody darted the opposite direction, I'm gonna go ahead and head behind me over here in front of Godfrey, I believe it was. And
Okay. All right. So we're trying to save 4 people, it seems. Man. All right. So we're going to start with 7. As you shadow step up, give me an acrobatics check.
Okay.
As you shadow step to the very top of the cliff, Dulcinea jumps as you appear right next to her. What was your acrobatics?
That was a nat 20.
Nat 20. All right. So you grab her leather apron, and as you grab her leather apron, she jumps off the cliff. It wraps backwards, and now she's not fallen to her death, but she is currently strangling by the apron string of her own apron.
we'll go through all the descriptions first, and then we will go back to see what people do.
I'm just gonna go, oh, come on.
And Savanor jumps. What do you do?
Oh, I guess I'm gonna try and catch him.
All right, give me an athletics check.
That's a 17 on the die plus. Okay, that's a 22.
All right. It's pretty good. Pretty good.
And I'm like awkwardly like trying to hold my arms out, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Sav. I didn't mean all those things I said.
And you said it was a 22?
22.
All right. So I will give you a choice. Do you want to take most of the damage, or do you want Savanor to take most of the damage?
Well, he's the one making the dumb decision. He can take most of it.
All right. All right, you take 13 points of bludgeoning damage from Savinor's falling body.
Holy crap.
Which was reduced by your high roll, which is good. Good. And he takes more than that and is unconscious at your feet. All right, Valenry. Roll your sleep damage, please.
I did. It's 21. And before you give me a description, if she doesn't go down or anything seems odd, I am not going to try and catch her.
It's a him, but yes.
Him,
Valenry,
yes.
Valenry does fall asleep, falls off the cliff, and meets his end at your feet.
Yep.
Joss jumps off the cliff and meets his end over here. And lastly, Towson, athletics. Are you trying to catch Godfrey as Godfrey jumps?
Yes.
All right, give me athletics.
All right. Okay, so yes, that is a 19.
Would you like to take more of the damage, or would you like Godfrey to take
more of the damage?
All right. This one wasn't too bad. This was only your part of it would only be 9 points of damage.
Yeah.
Godfrey, you are able to catch Godfrey, and you guys go to the ground. Godfrey bumps his head, but he then wakes up, and then he fades away. And then Valenry fades away, and Savanor fades away. Dulcinea, hanging by her neck,
let her
fades
go
away.
Yeah.
So you have saved Dulcinea, you have saved Godfrey, and potentially in Savanor. We will give me a medicine check, Jens, as you see in Savanor bleeding and perhaps fading away.
Well, I don't think it's going to work out. I got a nat 1.
So so you've killed Savanor. So you've saved
yeah.
Valenry and Godfrey. All right.
Is he still like bleeding out over there?
Yeah, no, he's basically, you each had a chance to try and save them, and now they've faded away. They're no longer there. And then you hear in the Rose Queen's voice, well, it looks as if the test of knowledge has been completed. And then you are all back at the Circle of Stones.
That was definitely some old fairy bullshit.
Nope, not a fan of whatever this is.
The main reason I wanted to see if I could cast sleep on it was in case it was a monster.
Nope. The folks of Chardon Gloom, the Skundrews, are vulnerable to sleep. So you're back at the Circle of Stones. 2 of the other stones are no longer green. And you hear in King Drakwith's voice, results of the test of knowledge, divine knowledge,
and technic knowledge have been preserved. Those who wagered gain your points.
Stam, do you know how I knew it wasn't real?
What?
Because In Savanor admitted he didn't know something.
Dang it! I should have seen through
You
that.
should have known. You should have
Oh
known.
my gosh! You know, this
I
knowledge
thought we'd
thing
be
wasn't going to
playing
be for
cards
me.
or something. Came along, I'm so excited, and I gotta catch bodies falling off a cliff, and it's not even real.
It's not
Yeah.
real.
So Siggy, for what it's worth, I thought your sleep idea was brilliant. Because a sleeping person can't jump off a cliff. So I don't. You're right. It's that fairy bullshit.
Yeah, I
We all
didn't.
need to hug it out.
I
Do we
didn't
need a
think
minute?
it was a person. I thought it was a monster, and I was hoping that it would fall, and instead of jumping on me, it would just hit the ground, like
It
it
did though. It was
Yes,
there.
but it wasn't. It wasn't even a monster. It was real, not real.
It was real, not real.
Yeah.
All right.
well,
so
moving
you're
on.
back here. You hear you hear the laughing king. That's a score for me. Technic knowledge. They choose the technic. Of course they do. These short-lived folks. They want the power of the technology.
I didn't choose nothing. What the hell are you
You
talking about?
did.
And then
You saved Technicart the Fister. You valued their life more than the others.
And then the Princess Alice says, "Well, I knew they would definitely choose the divine, for they believe in their gods. They trust in their gods. They chose the divine."
I see.
So those who are watching, the Court of Ambershoe has 1 point, and the Laughing King of Feanringlad has 1 point.
Anybody else confused as to how the points were tallied during all of that? Because I don't understand what's happening.
I
You have
get
no
it.
clue.
I got
You're
my
not supposed
theory.
to.
I got
I think
my
I
theory.
understand.
There was 5 choices on the last one, right?
Yes.
And there's
Mhm.
5 of these courts, and they're all picking
Oh.
one of these things.
Well, I think they
And,
all represent one of those things, and they are trying
yeah,
to see
yeah.
what
Okay.
mortals value the most. So in
Yeah,
that
they
case,
thought we were thinking about it from something deeper than we did.
Well, maybe you were. I mean, who's to say that there wasn't some sort of?
The only reason I didn't go to Dulcinea is because Seven was already going to get her.
I didn't think I could get all the way to
just
the
saying
little
that
fella up there.
Subliminal things happen, is all I'm saying, and they've been doing this once every 500 years for a long time now, right, Allison?
That's correct. That's
Things
correct.
must work for a reason.
Are we
I don't
just
know
supposed
what
to soak another
subliminal
rock
things
and
are
hope for
happening.
the best?
All
Okay,
right.
Now there's a bunch more that look like the light
Yep.
went out. All right, it was a
Yep.
green light and the glow is gone.
Yeah,
The
I'm
glow is
sure
gone,
them
and
fellas
these
is,
two down here.
them fellas is cheating. So I guess we better, make another attempt at something else.
All right, let's go poke this one. I'm just gonna walk towards this one. Over
All right.
here.
I would suggest something before we continue to just rush headlong blindly. It seems that there is not necessarily you get the boon at the end, but it is better that we make decisions rationally and that makes sense rather than try to win the prize at the end. Yes?
So which rock should I touch rationally?
I
I
got
don't
it.
think it matters.
I
I'm
got a
talking
question.
about when we were in the games. When we were in the games, don't worry about winning the game. Worry about doing what you think is right.
Yeah. Well, and then there's like overthinking and underthinking, and maybe we should just do what
Yeah.
seems.
We're just gonna
natural.
be ourselves. If you don't shoot something in the first 5 seconds, Stam,
Yeah.
we lose.
It's one of those things where when you start thinking too much, all you can think of is the word think, and then it's in different colors, and then the little guy comes and pumps it up, and then it explodes into a bunch of little things.
So
I'll poke the
on the
rock.
next one, if I see a bunch of our friends on the cliff, I should just shoot the one that I think I should shoot.
Yes.
Absolutely, move.
It's worth
I'm
a
gonna
shot.
poke this rock right here in front of me. Then
None of it is
All right.
real, so do whatever you would prefer.
All right, I'll follow.
All right, you guys poke that rock, and you find yourselves outside of a hut.
I want to poke a different one. Don't like this. Rock me,
Yeah,
please.
undo.
What do you do? There's a glow and there's some people talking inside.
Suppose I should probably take the lead on this.
Over the door is like a hide curtain, and you see like a firelight glow coming out from underneath the hide curtain.
Can I use like to take the halberd out and use the handle and just kind of like half an inch move the curtain and kind of look at Seven and gesture like
Yeah. And I just like disappear behind Stam's shadow and appear in a shadowy place I can see inside there.
Like you
Why
look
are we
over.
Yeah.
All right.
Way
And
more
And
aggressive than
I'm
this
gonna
buddy.
sneak up to the doorway.
all right.
You want to look through this opening I've created? Because apparently he just left. I was gonna say, look in and see what's there.
Yeah. If nobody else does, I will.
So
I don't
Stammen-
understand why we're getting ready to ambush these people. We don't know what they're here for.
Stammen, you see Ramblin' Bob,
Random Bob.
Ramblin' Bob is he's a musician who plays in the Gloomport, but he always has no money, and he's always hungry, and he's trying to play to make his ends meet. And he's kind of sitting, holding his stomach. And you also, I guess, from there you can also see Dreskel from Donvan, who is across from the fire. And Dreskel is a pastry maker in Flaxen Wagon Alley. And I'll stop there. That's all you can see. Now, Seven, you also see a third man in there who looks kind of like the token, but you've never met him before.
Are we done being sneaky now?
And then as just after he says that, I'm gonna appear right back from their shadows. They're like, okay, so I see 3 weird guys. One weird guy with a playing instrument, and then 2 other weird guys.
All right, are we just gonna? Are they doing anything suspicious?
I will
Or are they
walk
like-
in.
They're sitting by a fire.
Sigismund walks in.
So as
No,
Sigismund walks up, I'm
bro,
just gonna hold the
Jenkins.
curtain. I see him coming, and I'm like, all right, then just move the curtain. And
This is
let it go,
happening.
You
and I'll
guys can
follow him
wait
in.
out here if you want to while I
No,
scope
I'm
it
going
out.
in. As soon as you go in, I'm like, well, I guess we're doing this a different way. All right. Jigs up,
I'll
numpties.
gesture
What's
for Seven.
going on?
These
I
are
got
our
my
friends.
gun
I
out
would
and my
remind
cutlass
you.
in my hand.
All
There
right,
it is.
As they walk in, I disappear behind their shadows and reappear back where I was before.
All
Just to
right.
stay out of
my
sight.
gosh.
Held the curtain
All right,
open.
so
I forgot.
everybody
You don't
goes-
really walk, do you? You don't.
I don't walk.
Everybody goes back.
I
in.
forgot to mention that when we were walking through Darkenhaven, I didn't really walk. I just like teleported from shadow to shadow because I'm a little
Okay.
lazy.
All right, so those of you who, basically Sigismund and Stammond, you recognize all 3 of these gentlemen. Ramblin' Bob, he's holding his stomach. Dreskel, the pastry maker from Donvan, and Vren, the baker from Venzentia, who both have different bakeries in
Oh,
Beugerton.
them guys that was arguing. I remember them.
And Bob says, "Oh, thank you for coming. I'm trying to explain to these gentlemen they are both bakers, and yet I am so hungry, and all they want to give me is pastries." And Dreskel says, "Yes, Essenver declare come from Donvan, and it is good for you." And he's like, I don't want any Claire. I want something of substance, perhaps some roast or some bread, something. A pastry.
Did you
is
walk
not
into
going
a
to do it.
bakery
I'm
and
so
demand they have
hungry.
something else?
Huh?
Did you walk into a bakery and demand they have something that's not a baked good?
This is not a. Where am I?
This
This
is
is not a
hot.
bakery.
This is a
I,
hot
I look
And-
around. Is there any other food in this place?
No, there is not. And then Driscoll says, "This is most selling of any eclair ever in whole world. This is the best, most value you ever get from eclair." And then Vren pipes in, "Yes, but mine have had very many awards. My pastries, my breads, they all win so much awards." And at that, you hear the little flute that you heard from the grin singer. You hear that music coming from outside once again. This just the flute, not the drums and the singing.
Well, you see, Bob, it is unfortunate, but if there were a baker of any real talent here, they would be able to make something other than their specialty. You see, truly the king of all bakers would be able to make something other than an eclair. I mean, but
like a meat pie?
If you two
Can I
are
step
so
out
limited
front
in
and
your
see if
scope,
can
I
locate
understand.
the-
I
Doesn't
can
one of those
use
chip-
this fire and make a meat pie," says Driscoll. "Like you say, Stam, is it? I think I've seen you in my
it's
bakery."
Stam. Yeah, would you eat that, Bob?
"Yeah, I would eat it. Yes, a meat pie sounds
All
wonderful."
right, let's have a meat pie contest then. Both
I
of
think
you make a meat
I think
pie.
it's the only way to settle which eclair is better is to see who can cook something else better, because that would tell us the true skill of the baker.
And
There you go.
Vren says, "I can also make a meat pie, and it will be the best one you've ever seen. You will have no way not to give me a ribbon or a trophy for this wonderful skill that I have put into this meat pie." And Driscoll says, "I'll make a meat pie for some golds. I know that I am the best, but I also wish to be paid for the best." And you hear the flute outside again.
I'm gonna go.
It might
step
look
out.
like the best, but will it taste the best? Because that's probably what this guy over here is really interested in.
I think Bob's the hungry one. He ought to put the gold on the line.
Hmm.
You know Bob has no gold.
Yeah, no,
dang
just
it.
to placate Stammen, I'll go over and like put my hand on Bob's shoulder and goes, "Bob, you really should be putting up the prize." And I'll slip like 10 gold from my purse.
You
into
have no
Bob's
gold
hand.
on you. You reach for your golds and you have no gold on you.
Do I see him fumbling and wondering?
Yep.
So I'm gonna. If I see that, I'm gonna check my own.
You have no gold on you.
All
Tell you
right.
what.
This is some kind of trick.
You know what we do have that's worth more than gold?
Good
friendship.
feelings, brotherhood. What?
We have a fine mead that anywhere on the planet would fetch you, I don't know, 700-800 gold for the bottle. And perhaps we could offer that up as a prize. As well as the distinguished title of the best eclair in all of Verdestia. Nay, all of Zyathe.
So I think that Towson stepped outside, correct?
I did. When I heard the flute, I was gonna go look for the.
All right.
Fuzzy
So
Nose
as
champ
they're
that
in
we saw
there
earlier.
showing off this bottle and trying to, you see a wooden table has been set up outside. On the left-hand side of the table is a loaf of bread, some cheese, and some sliced meats. In the center of the table is a pouch of gold. On the right side of the table is a trophy.
We just walked by here, and none of this was here.
You are right.
Yes,
And,
it's
and you
very
had gold
bullshit.
when you came here.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
How big is this table?
It's about a 3-foot wooden table.
He's picking it up. I know
I'm
it.
picking the entire table. up.
He picks up the entire table and brings it inside.
Just sets it down. I found this out front.
Well, that's that problem solved.
Well, not necessarily.
I wanted to try that drink. Go ahead and put it away.
Stam,
Are we? Is this the bottle that I just traded my medallion that's laying on the grass, needlessly placed? For? Is that what this is?
Stam,
Yes.
when you drink, your aim is bad.
Depends on how much I drink.
But anyway, it seems that it is a moot point.
Now I understand the targets.
Yes, indeed.
I
So he has
find
bigger ones
where that
depending on how
line
drunk he
is. I find that line and I stay on this side of it. Unless I spend too much time around in Savannah, and then I just can't help myself.
So
Mom,
on the
Which
left,
one of you is hungry?
on the left side of the table is basically sandwich makings, cheese, sliced meats, and bread. In the center is some gold, and on the right side is a trophy. You see Ramblin' Bob eyeing the bread that's ready to eat right now, and he's so hungry. You see Vren eyeing the gold, and he says, "I will make great pie, meat pie for Rambling Bob." And you see Vren eyeing the trophy. "My meat pie will be award-winning, worth a trophy as this."
I think that you've waited too late, gentlemen. Your services are no longer required. I mean, Bob, would you be happy with the sandwich?
Yes, I would love for it. Just give
I
me
mean,
that
why
sandwich.
Guys, why don't we just let them have the sandwich stuff?
Yeah,
How
fine.
about
It's easy.
The individual that wanted the trophy. Name is slipping my mind.
Vren.
Vren.
Vren, why don't you come get your trophy?
Nope,
The gold
nope,
is-
nope,
no,
nope.
no,
All right,
no.
let's
Are we
just
sure?
go over fairy bullshit. Every
Let's just
time
save time and call it FBS from now on.
we're going to
FBS.
have to make a decision, I'm assuming, to make one of these people happy. I don't care about the ego of the other two, but
No,
I
sandwich-
sure would like
sandwich should
Bob
win.
to have his needs met. So if we can only, maybe we can
not
satisfy
doing
more than
phrasing.
one of them, but I suggest that we start with satisfying the needs of a hungry man before the others.
Agreed.
Fine by me.
I'm
7?
already handing the sandwich over to him.
Yes.
All right. And, I made Towson disappear. Oops.
I disappeared with the
disappear.
sandwich. Good lord.
So as you hand the sandwich, as you touch the sandwich, the bag of gold and the trophy go away, and then the people, the sandwiches, all of this fades away, and you are back in the circle of stones, and you hear Prince Keltarin.
Well, it seems as if the test of value has been answered. Generosity is the winner.
Can I make like a general investigation? I don't know how they're seeing all this. Obviously, FBS is afoot. But can I like, are we, for some reason, I'm getting an idea that we're like pawns on a table. Can I like look up and around and see if we've somehow ended up on this flipping table?
Give me an investigation check.
All right. Pretty sure that's not my strong suit. Oh, never mind. 15?
That's good enough. You look up, you're like, you see stars, you see the tops of trees. Give me a wisdom save.
Oh Lord.
You looked into
You've
the
just
void.
tried to gaze
Right.
into the universe.
Right,
He's
it just
gazed
looked
into
back.
the
I'm not
abyss
happy.
and found
Oh,
that
hey,
it
that's
gazed
a
back.
19 on the die.
Usually in Call of Cthulhu, you want to fail those saves.
19 on the
You don't know
die.
what's happening.
Yeah. Rolled a 19, but it's an 18.
Okay, you actually make your wisdom save, and it doesn't affect your mind in some super negative ways. It just boggles your mind, because then you start to see basically those people you met, those 5 people. You see their looming faces in the stars looking down at you, and then they fade away, and you're able to block it out, because you know if you look for those faces anymore and you comprehend a part of what's going on, madness shall enter your mind. So you're able to, but your assumption is correct. You're like, yes, we are in on the table. We are in the game. We are the game.
So as those faces fade out and I see all of that, I'm going to look. Did any of my companions have any recognition of that?
No.
Don't care.
Out loud. I'm going to walk over and touch the next rock. Like this.
Well, hold on. I get an action because you were staring up at the sky.
Yes, I was.
I'm going to the 11 o'clock stone. This is the next one. Oh, that one's been unlit?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to the next available one. I guess that's 12 o'clock. I just want to look at it and see if there are any markings on it.
Yes, on this stone, you see on this stone you see a what might be a bridge.
A bridge.
Yeah, it looks kind of like this with the.
There's a picture on this one of a bridge. Do we want this one?
I'd suggest.
I need to go into one of those quickly. I don't want to be here anymore. You tell me where to go.
All right.
I'm on team. They're all gonna be bad.
Yeah.
That's
FPS,
correct.
I get it.
I know what a chess piece feels like, and I'm just gonna at that you see me pull a chess piece. I have the gaming set on me and just dump the pieces on the ground.
I do the same with my dice. Like, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Don't like this.
So Stammen, you go in the 12 o'clock one?
Yeah.
All right.
How many of them are left?
There are 3 left.
You know, they
Four?
did say something about the final stone buff, and there are 4 of us and 4 of those. It would really screw Corey over, but we can do it. Nah, let's all go in the same one.
And by my math,
I don't. If there's exactly 4
been...
left, like 2 to 3 have been disappearing every time.
Yes, by the way it's been going, we should have the last one, but we'll see.
All right,
It
let's
seems
go
like they
fast.
do 2 to every one of ours.
Yeah,
so Stamon's like, do we think this should be the one? Yes.
You touch the 12 o'clock stone?
Yes.
All right. You find yourselves atop a big rock on a winding road. The road basically winds around where you are on the top of this rock. As you look down, you see a bridge to the south. On this bridge, you see a toddler on the edge. It is a Skundruz toddler. Now, Stammen, you know that this is a young person that basically contains the soul of some other person, like your friend Verlenry. You then, what fades into vision is a Skundruz mother who is standing there. And then off to the west of her, on the other side of the bridge, is Etza Marai, who, for those of you watching, is a fence of stolen things. Not a very trustworthy individual. And then on the other side of the bridge is Thonia, a friend of Sigismund. And you see Etza call to the mother and say, mother, let me tell you, I will take this child off of your hands, and I will even pay you for it. Yes, that's right. I'll pay you to take this child and take it off your hands. And then Thonia says, I will care for the child on your behalf, if you like. And then the mother looks around, looks at them, and then sees you all up there. And she waves. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
What's going on here?
Seems like they're trying to take our baby.
It seems like somebody's trying to buy a baby.
Why are you trying to take that baby?
What? I'm not taking a baby.
No. Why are they trying to take your baby?
Or should I take the baby?
No,
Is
that's
it your baby?
baby.
Well, you don't know that it's her baby.
Is this the Bridges baby or your baby?
I mean, it could be somebody else's baby. That's a little racist, my dude.
They look exactly alike on screen, though. I mean, they're like the spitting image of each other.
Yeah, they really are.
Do I recognize this mother as the mother that I saw in the birthing ritual?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Can I do an insight check on the child to see if the child is attached to what we're assuming is the mother?
I think the child you were assuming is the mother.
So the child is a small icon, and it's toddling along the edge of the bridge.
Let's not. Okay.
I obviously won't recognize this child as the child from the ceremony because it's grown up.
Right.
But I do know that this woman has a baby, a Skondru's child, but it would be logical to assume that perhaps this is its child, but I don't know that.
Do we just need to go down there and rescue that child?
I was just about to say, can I shadow
How tall
step
is this
down there
cliff?
and just help the child off the ledge first? Say, let's just,
All right.
All
right. So
come down
you,
here.
you shadow step down. You're standing there. You hear Thonia say, "I will take it. I will take it." And the baby's toddling away. And then Etsa's like, "I'll pay you for the baby." And then you reach out to the baby, and you are suddenly transported back to the top of the rock.
Oh, this is just FPS all over again.
Yeah, you've identified it. Yes, yes.
All right.
This
So-
baby's in
And
no
then
danger.
the lady calls out to you all, "What should I do? What should I
want the
do?"
baby?
And we're going to do a knit, and each of you get to say something to the mother.
Okay.
Hello.
Ooh.
20 or better.
21.
All right. What do you like to say to her? And everybody's going to get a shot. It's not like he's speaking for the whole group.
The baby's best with its mother, so if it's all right with you, I think you should keep it.
Okay. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14,
16.
13. All right.
So,
Towson, what do you say?
This edge here that we're sitting on, I'm trying to maintain the fact that, I'm a man. I am not a chess piece. And I'm going to sit on the edge of this rock, just kind of sit with the feet hanging over the edge. So, do you enjoy being a mother, or are we just what is happening here? How did you find yourself in this situation?
All right.
I think that's what you got to say.
12. 12.
I'm 12.
All right.
All right, I'm tired of this FBS. I pull out my pistol and aim it at the child, and I'll look at the mother's face and the other two faces for a reaction. I want to see their reactions.
Etsa smiles. Etsa smiles and goes, "What a waste. What a waste." And Thonia goes, "No, I'll take it. I'll take care of it." And the mother still looks blankly, and the child doesn't recognize what's going on. All right, and last but not least, Sigismund.
Tell you what, it seems that you are not in the best condition to take care of this child. Why don't you let me take the child back to the Abbey? I will see that it is well taken care of, and when you are back to yourself, you can come and pick it up. We will make sure that it is taken care of and wants for nothing.
And Thonia says, yes, I will help my good friend Sigismund. I will help him with taking it.
Nope, you will not.
And we will get it to the Nope. All right, so after all of this has been said, you hear a voice. I got to figure out which one it is now. That's the hard part about not making these NPCs like static and they're kind of random based on who voted what.
And being 37 of them at once.
Yeah. you hear Prince Keltarin of the Unseelie Court of the Vile Vines, the one that was going to hire you to help him with his uncle.
Yes, the Abbey does sound like the right way. Is that your choice?
And
Damn.
Towson, you're like,
I point to the what was her name? Thonia.
Thonia, yeah.
I think she would care for the child.
The Abbey, Thonia, it is the same. Is this your choice?
Is the mother
Damn,
an
shoot the one
option?
offering to buy an infant.
I did hear Seven ask if the mother should keep it. Is that your choice?
The mother's allowing the baby to walk on
Yes.
the edge of a
I
bridge.
choose for myself. I don't know about you guys, but I choose that it goes to the Abbey because I know that Harmonia will take care of this child. I am worried about the
I-
mental state of the woman. But if
I
she
don't
wishes to pick it
enjoy-
up from there,
Don't enjoy somebody offering to buy the child. And the mother is clearly making questionable decisions at this exact moment in time. So maybe a timeout at the Abbey is where we need to be.
Valerian? Is that no, not Valerian. I
Seven.
forgot what your name is.
7.
Austin. Austin, what is your name again? I've forgotten.
Oh,
It's
Towson.
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 Just
Towson.
move the T. That's
I
good.
would remind you that this is not a real child. So this is really about what you value as a person.
Yeah, I value the fact that the child is safe. The adults,
Yes.
none of them matter to me. As
I
long as the
agree.
child is safe and the Abbey appears to be the safest option, because I just don't trust somebody offering coin for a child.
And also, this may give religion a point, and I'm pretty down for that.
All right. It
Is
goes
that
with the
your
guy that
choice?
offers money at this point. I'm out. Nope. Abbey it is.
Yes.
That's my vote.
That's our
All
choice.
right,
Yes.
that is your choice. All right, and the people on the bridge fade away. Everything fades away around you, and you find yourself back at the circle of stones. It's taking a little bit to load.
Any of them
Fortunes
that are not
disappeared.
touched, we
We're
should
back.
not hesitate.
All right, and you hear the laughing queen or laughing king. Sorry.
Yes. Well, the test of responsibility has been answered. They have chosen to give away the responsibility, giving 1 point to the vile vines.
No, it was not a point for religion. But also, damn it, Stem, could you help me swat off these advertisement flies? Back again. Bloody bastards.
Yeah, I'll use the flat of my cutlass.
As it stands, Amber Shoe at 1 point, Vile Vines at 2, Gnarlson Roots 0, Thorns of Briars 0, and my court of the Faenrin God 1 point.
How many did the Laughing King have?
1.
I like that guy.
And what about the mother? Is that a point of some sort? Did I earn points? That's what I want to know.
So if the group had chosen bear the burden of responsibility, the mother, that would have scored some other people points.
We make a decision as a group. That
And,
first
and
one
since
was,
we're on advertisement flies, I can kind of tell you the 3 options or the 4 options there were bear the burden, having the mother keep it, capitalize on the responsibility, sell it to Etza, give away the responsibility, which is Thonia, or in your case, the giving it away to the Abbey. And then the last one is
Just
ignore
shoot
the
the child.
responsibility and let the child fall off the cliff, which
Yeah.
you guys didn't let that happen.
I really
All right.
thought that when Stam pulled his gun, he was going to shoot it.
I was like, ooh. I
was
shoot
just
the
trying
child.
I was just trying to create a new form of information that we could,
Yes.
work with.
Absolutely. I get it. It was the King Solomon decision.
All right. So there are 2 stones left.
Oh, I vote we
Ooh.
split into 2 groups and do them at
That
the
is
same time.
absolutely
time.
what we're doing.
Okay, so who is the least crazy? We need at least one not crazy person in each group.
As you say that, I'm already touching one of the stones.
Yes, I touched that one.
So Stam and
All right.
I guess, just look at each other and go, okay, and go to the other one.
Sure.
We don't want
I
all
heard
this
something about the
beautiful
final stump.
maps. to
It
go
could
to
have been a
waste.
game, you know.
All right.
Thing as well. But we'll
So
see.
you touch 2 different stones,
Because Corey's not doing enough.
and you find yourselves together once again at the foot
No,
of
look
a
at
weird
that!
tree.
Is that your
FPS in full
FPS?
FPS.
Yeah, definite FBAs.
And you're shocked to see one another.
What?
And you're at the foot of this tree, and there are these weird glowing skulls.
This whole time, I think you guys are the illusion.
He's not convinced. Like he's
And
been an illusion the whole time. The couch was an illusion. The condemned was an illusion.
And you see Jubal Ockett, former leader of the street sweeper gang in Beugerton, and he says, "Welcome, welcome to the test of prowess. Murderers as you are, how might you fare? How many foes would you like to face at a time?"
Oh, look at all these answers that are coming up on the Twitch stream. I should probably minimize that. Oh, you guys want to really let me mess with your minds? What if 2 of us in this situation are illusions? And if they are, which 2 of us are illusions?
Mhm.
Because only 2 of us are in here. Certainly, we're not all
well-
4 actually here.
He asked us a question. How many do we want? So
Are we fighting them individually or as a group?
You are fighting them as a group. You are the champions, of course.
Do I feel
I mean,
like I'm
depends on what
some
we're fighting.
FBS? Do I feel like I'm FBS? Like me as a
You
person?
feel like yourself.
Okay.
I put
you
my
just may not be here.
hand back again on the paladin's face, touching your face all over again. I'm like, are you
Yeah,
real?
he's there. Yep.
Well, we went together, so we're either both illusions or we're both real.
Mm-hmm. I go and,
yeah.
I go and
He's like
touch
a
the
little
Eldritch
covered in
Knight's
horns.
face.
How do I feel?
I don't think you understand. They're either both real or both illusions. That's. I know it hurts your brain, but that's just the way it is.
I gotta find out that I'm touching your face.
All right. So
Because last time I touched a child, I just disappeared. So I'm touching you.
Please don't.
We're
touch
not doing
children.
phrasing this evening.
Let's see. Let's. How many do we want to fight? What are the options? What's the range here?
You can fight as many as you wish.
And I suppose you're not going to tell us what they are.
Tell you what are the foes? They are
Yes.
foes.
What is the
They are
motive?
vile.
Thanks.
I feel like I could take 2.
Here is what I think is going to happen in this FPS. I think that whatever number we're going to say, that's how many of us we're going to have to fight. Because he has said that we are vile and murderers all.
Ah,
And
crap.
these foes are murderers all. And I feel like I could probably take exactly like between 0.99 and 1 Sigismund.
I don't know about all that math crap you were using, but yeah, I think if it's me, I'm fighting. Yeah, 1 of me. Yeah, I think I could take me.
It depends.
Am I over there or will I be directly in front of myself?
Which would you prefer? Because I'm assuming that's where they're going to be. Because
Yes.
they prefer that as well. But that it may be something completely different. This is all just maybe
So
I'm
we
an
earn
illusion. and I'm
more.
giving you
One
fight
for
some
each of
more.
you, then. One
Yes.
for each of you.
I think
One
that's
for each.
Four.
Four.
4 foes it is.
indeed.
There we go, overthinking it again, huh?
Yeah, correct. We're good at that.
But what if we overthink this even more? What if I'm an illusion and I'm here to give you a hint?
all right. And I will grab all of these and I will put them in the initiative. And this is our combat encounter. Where's the combat? There it is. And then I will roll on here and I will keep track of it here. Stammen, you are first, and right next to you is this basically this skeletal thing with vines growing all over it, and thorns wrapped around it.
All right. Well, I'm going to use my cutlass and my dagger for this close encounter. And I'm going to start with the cutlass and just slash the heck out of this thing. That's an 18 to hit.
18 hits.
All right. And 10 points of damage.
Ooh.
All right.
And then if it's still up, I'm going to jab the dagger into its ribs. And that's a 24 to hit.
That hits.
That's going to be 8 points of damage.
All right. It shatters into a pile of bones.
Oh.
Ooh.
And so do
So
all
do
of
we all.
Oops.
FPS.
It's Stammen. So I'm glad you rolled at the end of the round because now we'll just do that. Now there we go. This one shatters into a pile of bones.
We're having fun.
It was even more of an illusion. We were all illusions.
And this one moves up on to 7. Does a 18 hit you?
18 is going to hit.
All right. You'll take 4 points of piercing damage and give me a con save, please.
Oh, dear.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
This is FBS. Make that a wisdom save, please.
Hooray!
Oh, fun. Okay.
Have to get a T-shirt made with that one.
That is a 6.
All right. On your next turn, you will act as you normally would. That is good. The poison,
Nice.
as it creeps through you and maddens you, you're like, yeah, I'm going to do what I want to do anyway. All right.
He's it.
And then we go to this one, and it will rush down onto Towson. Ooh, we have 19 on the die. That's 23 to hit.
Yeah, sure.
4 points, and give me a wisdom save, please.
Okay. Oh no. 10.
I don't like the sound of that.
A 10.
A 10.
All right. Your next turn, you will stare blankly at the sky as this poison creeps through your brain, and you see the faces start to appear again in the table above you.
He's
And that's
not
what you do right
sweating
now.
profusely.
That's your turn. And we'll skip to this skeleton, which will close on Sigismund. Sigismund, that's a 10. It misses.
Denise.
7. Your turn.
All right. I pull. It's like comes out of my sleeve. This like short little club that's like the length of a billy club, but then I activate something and it just turns into a full-on quarterstaff, and I just smack into this thing.
All right.
That is a 25 to hit.
25 hits.
All right. That is going to be 7 plus 5, 13 damage.
That quarterstaff seems to shatter this thing wholly. You have completely smashed it, and those of you watching notice that worked really well on that skeleton. Sigismund.
Do I notice that Towson seems to be in trouble?
He's staring blankly at the sky. Yes.
I
You
will
notice
take
it.
the AOO and move up beside him.
Okay. Oh. All right. This one tries to claw you and falls prone.
All right. And then I will attack this one.
All right.
It's a 2 on the die, so no.
No. All right. And that was that round, and you hear, Jubal, you chose 4.
Oh.
Try not to delete everybody as
Towson, you are first. You can act normally now that you have taken a round to stare at the sky.
All right. I would like to use the halberd and attack the one standing in front of me here.
Okay.
That seems to just keep dodging things.
It was a 2 on the die, so this one is the most formidable one of these things yet.
All right, Stammen.
All right. I am going to move over to the one that's kind of straight out from me and attack it with the dagger and the cutlass.
Okay.
So the cutlass, 23 to hit. And 9 damage.
All right.
Does it look like the fact that these are bones and it's an edged weapon, maybe not doing as much damage as it should?
It seems like it's because it's also vines kind of wrapping together, and so the edge weapon is cutting the vines up. But you notice that the quarterstaff was very effective. Not that your sword is less effective, but the quarterstaff was much more effective.
I gotcha. All right. Well, I don't have a quarterstaff. All right, and then the dagger is 21 to hit.
Hits.
And the damage is 9 damage.
All right. And that one is defeated. All right. The skeleton moves up on Sigismund. That is a 12?
No.
That's a miss. All right. 1,000. A 14.
No.
Also on 1,000. A 20 on the die.
Rude.
That is 8 points of damage. Give me a wisdom save, please.
Oh, we could probably just forgo that part. Yeah. I rolled a 10, so it's a 9.
All right. You get. Oh, that's a 9 on the die. Act normally.
And
your next turn.
actually, Corey, why don't your skeleton go ahead and give me a wisdom saving throw as I cast Rebuke the Violent?
All right. An 8.
He takes 4 radiant damage.
Okay. Sigismund.
I will attack the one directly in front of Towson, there, closest to the tree.
Okay.
So it's a natural 20.
All
that I'm
right.
going to do there. So, and I would cast the smite on this as well, but I don't need to actually. But I'm going to go ahead and do it because I said it. So that is 8 plus 4 is 12. Oh my Jesus! Plus another 7. That's 19 points of damage. 7 of it radiant.
All right. It bursts into a flaming mass of bones and vines. And
It's
that
them.
was
I don't have to
this
not
one.
be violent because they're not real. They're FBS.
It didn't affect
Right.
me any.
And then this skeleton will come up to attack 7. And that is a 15.
That's a miss.
That's a miss. And this skeleton will come up and attack Sigismund. That is a 23.
That hit.
2 points. A whole 2 points. And give me a wisdom save, please.
Wisdom save is 14.
14. That is good. That is good. All right.
How much damage was that, Corey?
2.
2. Okay.
7, your turn.
All right, I'm going to smack at this thing with my quarterstaff. That is a 24 to hit.
That hits.
And 7 points of damage.
That's enough. You double it. So yes, it smashes again, showing the
the goodness of the quarterstaff.
And I'm going to shadow step behind Mr. Man with the top hat.
Okay.
And just flick him behind the ear and say, "We said 4."
It's at the bottom of the round. Yes, you said 4. And put these somewhere. Add them to the combat. All right, and the one in front of Sigismund is first here. That is a 15. Oh, nope. All right, another one next to Sigismund. That is a 10. All right, and then this one runs up to, oh, not all 4 of them.
Oh,
This one
learned to
runs
move
up
as a pack.
to Stamond. And another crit.
oh no.
That is 8 points of damage and a wisdom save.
Did I keep the damage from the other test?
Yes.
All right. Well, then I'm down anyway. So.
All right. Stamon fades away. Flicker, flicker, fade, like a video game.
Illusion.
He was the illusion.
Illusion. It wasn't us.
All right. 7.
I give you a thumbs up.
We're good.
Got out of that
Sir Topham
nonsense.
Hat in the back of his knee over there, 7.
Don't worry, if he dies, he's not real.
7. It is your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
yeah,
I'm
I know
gonna-
that you just didn't want to just give a thumbs up.
I'm gonna run up to this. Oh, can I move? I'm gonna run up to this guy over here
All right, there we go.
and give him a good smackaroo with my quarterstaff. That is a 16 to hit,
That hits.
and that is 9 damage.
Right. 7 smacking the quarterstaff down. Towson.
Yeah, I am going to
Grab the one in front of me and
Hmm.
try and like pin its arms.
This one here.
yes.
All right.
All right.
Opposed athletics. Or make the attack roll first to make sure you hit it.
All right. That oh yeah, that's a 19.
All right. Opposed athletics.
Okay.
Beat a 9.
22. Yes.
All right. You have this thing grappled.
Good.
Would you like to do something with it now that you have it grappled?
Yeah, I want to hit the other one with it.
Hey,
Into the other one.
and so Towson, knowing that normally the rules of the game wouldn't allow this, or rules of D&D that is, realizes that he is also using FBS.
Yes.
Also an illusion. Everything is
I'm
a
leaning in heavy here.
So give me a attack at disadvantage, because you shouldn't be able to do
Yes.
this.
No.
And I would say that that is akin to a bone mace, so probably bludgeoning damage.
Yeah, bludgeoning.
This 15.
15 is good enough. Now,
Yes.
give me I'm gonna say a D8 plus your strength mod damage.
That's my strength mod. Oh yeah. 9.
9 points of damage.
All right, so he takes this one and smashes it into this one, and both of them shatter into a pile of bones and plants.
Nice.
Yes.
All right, and
They're weak when you hit them with
Skeleton.
another.
skeleton rushes up, and a 21 to hit Towson.
Yeah.
7 points of damage and a wisdom save.
All right. Look a little hairy here. Oh. 4.
Okay.
Oh no.
Oh, this is good. This is good. All right. The creature uses its action to make a melee attack against a randomly determined creature within its reach next round.
Womp.
Sigismund, you see a crazy look come over Towson's eyes. You've seen this before in barbaric rages of fighters who have gone in the bloodlust.
Of old, it was called the 3.5 and 4th form of barbarian, where they just kind of attacked anything.
Right.
I'm with it. I'm going to attack this one in front of me.
Okay.
It's a 15 on the dice, so 22.
Yep,
And
that
I will
hits.
smite it. Oh, good lord. That's 2 7s, so 14 points.
That does it.
And then I will GTFO, as they tell us in Paladin school, and I will take an AOO from Austin if he wishes, from Towson if he wishes, and from the skeleton since he has to.
Towson doesn't have to. He has to use his next action to attack. I'm not going to
Okay.
force
Not
him
a
to take an
reaction,
attacking
thank goodness.
opportunity. That is an 18 to hit you.
That is not enough.
All
19
right.
with the shield.
All right, and that means the skeleton that you ran up to makes an attack, and that is a 22,
That does hit.
and that is 7 points of damage. And give me a wisdom
7.
save.
Wisdom save. Jesus, these dice. It's a 9 plus 5 is 14 again.
14 is enough. All right, and you said 4. Aren't you glad you didn't say 8?
I was going to be
Actually,
macho and go, I
minute.
can take 5. No. Glad that didn't happen.
You're not real. You don't count.
Fair enough. Then I take 34.
Yeah. 78.
Right.
And then reset, roll, next round. Towson, you're first. And
Yes,
there's only one thing next to you within reach, so
right.
you may attack that one thing.
All right. Let's see. That is that's 21.
That hits.
Yeah. Which means, oh, gotta love when max damage happens. 13 points of damage.
Very nice.
Big halberd.
Big arc. Angry arc.
And how much was the damage?
13.
That doesn't. All
Sweet.
right. This one runs up to 7. That's no way on a 2 on the die that's going to hit. And then this one wait a minute, what am I doing? Next on the combat track. This one runs down to Towson. 18,
Yes.
5 points, and a wisdom save.
I'm asleep.
You're down?
You're not.
Nap time. Yes.
Flicker, flicker, fade. Towson goes down.
7. We won. We lived longer than the illusion.
7.
We're
your
the
turn.
champions. All right, I'm gonna put the beat down on this thing in front of me. That is a 14 plus 7, 21 to hit,
That hits.
and a 8 plus 5, 13 damage.
That does it. All right. That one will run up. A 13.
Miss.
Sigismund.
Sigismund will attack the one in front of him. It's a 16 on the die.
That hits.
I am all out of spells. Seeing that the quarterstaff was so effective, could I use the flat of my blade?
Yes, but you're going to suffer a -3 damage.
I'll just hit them regularly. Let's see. Let me get to my thing here. What am I doing? That is a 9 points of damage.
All right. 9. All right.
And then I will pivot this way.
As this one
But I can
runs
see
up
what's coming.
and that is a 22
That hits.
for 4 points.
Let me roll my save. It's an 18 on the die.
Yeah, you're good with the save.
You said 7 points or 4?
4 points. And that is a crit.
Oh no!
8 points.
You got it.
I would. It's like I would care if I were real.
That's a critical on the save.
All right, so you're good on the save. So 8 points.
I'm still up.
And one more. A 22
That hits.
for 5 points.
Come on, save. You've been doing good so far. A 16 on the die.
You saved.
How many
All
points?
right, and I do believe we're going into round 5.
How many points was that, Corey?
5 points. And Jubal says, final 4.
Dear God.
We got this.
Corey, put some more up there towards 7.
Warehouse full of flowstone crystals or anything nearby.
Skeleton with a 20 on the. Oh, wait, don't move, everybody.
Ah!
Oh, good God.
Skeleton with a 20 on the init comes up
The
with a
trailer
15
music
to hit.
video.
That's gonna miss.
All right. Skeleton next to Sigismund. That is a miss. It's a 9
Yes.
on Sigismund. 24
That hits.
for 7 points
Still up, but barely.
and a save.
Oh, yes, the save. It's a 16 on the die. You
Yeah.
can't get me skeletons.
On 17.
That one will hit.
2 points and a wisdom save.
2 points. That is a 11, I think. Let me just double check.
An 11.
Yes, 11.
All right. The creature, where is it? Uses all its movement to move into a random direction determined by a D8
Oh,
on your
no.
next turn.
Oh, fun.
So many AOs.
Mm-hmm. Just when I thought I would do okay.
All right.
Sigismund's physically
And that is
not
a
gonna be able to
24
move
to
here in a
hit.
minute.
That
Sigismund?
hits.
6 points.
I am down.
Flicker, fickler, fade.
But it's looking real bad, 7.
Mm-hmm.
That's an 11.
Miss.
I got to give you room to get out of there.
Random direction.
13?
Mosh pits all.
Miss.
It's going to be so many attack of opportunities.
Now he's
I don't even know if you're going to be able to get out of there.
No.
Corey, have I introduced you to my Lord and Savior flanking?
15 on the die.
Oh,
That's a miss.
Lord.
Or 15, I mean. And 15
Miss.
is a miss. And the last skeleton to attack you rolls a 16.
That is a miss.
Oh! And let me make
Uh.
sure I got this right. If these were squares, there would be 9 spaces around you. So let's do this like so that you
right?
can.
8, yeah.
So you basically only need to you need to roll a 1 or a 2 to see which way out of this you're going on your turn.
So it's a D8.
D4
Well, no, because
divided
you
by
can
2.
only move in 2 of those directions.
Okay.
Just roll a
so
D4. 1, 2, 1
It's
direction.
a 2.
So you're gonna run straight north.
Now
All
you
right.
said that I have to move in that direction, but could it be?
Oh,
a
you're
shadow
right. I
step?
did say you have to move in that direction. I did not say you have to.
True.
Yes.
Like,
So
sweet.
We
We
I'm going
survived.
to shadow step into that
All
direction.
right, and that is the final
finish.
round. So that's 20
20 minus, how many's here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
9.
7, 8, 9. Yes.
So 11 foes you defeated. And you hear the Laughing King.
Ah, that's good. Greater than 9, lower than 12. I win.
I like that guy. He won again.
We are tied, Prince Keltarin.
And we will go back to the Circle of Stones. Except you are not there. What's going on? You are not there, you are not there, you are not there.
You.
There is a single stone left, and Lokabut is standing next to you, and he says, "Wager, my friends," and he leads up. Which of the 2 teams of champions will win this last test? A test of wits, would you? A test of blades is no fair.
Just touch it.
Someone in front of me's like,
Yeah.
leaning
While
my
he's
hand
talking.
toward the stone.
Just shadow step over there.
Yeah,
So this is a real life monologuing opportunity for you.
yeah. I want to. Can I shadow step behind him and then reach over and touch the stone?
So you do, but it doesn't. Nothing happens.
doesn't do
He
anything.
goes,
It's
you're
not cool.
trying to outwit me, but I have a riddle for you. Here it is. What is the difference between an orange? Oh, wait, don't tell yet. Most people say, well, between an orange and what? And that would not be right. You would be wrong. I'm warning you. You must think about this one. And also, some people, those more intelligent than the first that I just talked about, well, they would say, well, one is a fruit and one is a color. And then I remind them, I said, what is the difference between an orange? I mean, one thing, not 2 different things. So what is the difference between an orange? If you would, tell me.
Discover
7.
is accepted at 99% of places in the U.S.
Well, I'm gonna have to say a shirt because a rocking chair doesn't have sleeves.
You are wrong, my friend. You are wrong. It is a shirt because a rocking chair doesn't.
Shirt because a rocking chair doesn't have sleeves.
And he flickers and fades.
You are wrong, my friend. You are wrong. It is
I'm gonna lean on the rock.
And you touch the rock and you then disappear. So back at the black table. Gotta scroll here a little bit. Here are back at the black table. You all, as these skeletons, you do not see 7 anywhere, but you come awake, laying at the foot of the black table, and you see that the different houses are the different courts. Prince Keltarin of the Vile Vines and the Laughing King of the Sealy Court of Feanringlad. The Laughing King says, my champion wins. I now have 3 points, you see. I would never go with some jester. I would never say that the test of wits would fall to someone who is trying to be something like the Laughing King. No! And so, the Laughing King wins. The Sealy Courts, again, triumphant in the black table. Thank you, players. Thank you, players. And you have done well. All right. So, for those of you watching and who have played in the game, 4 players from the Laughing Kings group will get we'll get Steam keys to some Steam board games. And then also there are another 8 games that we're giving away based on what you individually voted on. So we'll see like who bet on merit, who bet on generosity, who wagered that they would give away the responsibility, technic knowledge, all of those things that happened. And the 9 through 12 test of prowess, those are the other things that will get you into that. So we will do the epilogue, and then this will be the end of episode 7 of Plots in Darkenhaven. Epilogue. As Seven touches the final stone, he is ripped from Zyathe entirely. His eyes open, and he is surrounded by towering buildings of concrete and glass. It is night. Hard black stone is beneath his feet. Suddenly, a loud mechanical metal vehicle of some sort rushes by him and emits a loud squeal. A passenger within the conveyance shout, "Out of the road, nerd!" This world is more
He's
corrupt.
in California.
This world is more corrupt than the last. The people walking near the road don't even notice Seven's brush with death. They walk and stare blankly into small tablets, barely aware and enthralled by some mesh of technological control. Magic is gone from this world, living only in the imaginations of a few. A greater game is at play here, and Seven begins to search to help the people of this dark and terrible dystopia. And that, my friends, is episode 7 of Plots in Darkenhaven.
All right.
Nice.
Can we get a round of applause for Corey playing 47 different individuals in the middle of this one?
Yeah, nice work.
Good Lord, you kept all
Very
the
nice.
voices straight.
Thank you. Next time, I think I'm going to take some advice and have 2 GMs on this and just hand out NPCs.
Oh, that was awesome.
Thank
I
you
love
for
that.
joining us, Phil. Hope you liked it. Hope you come back maybe in a future season. Yeah, and that's episode 7.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. It was a great time. I'm looking forward to the next one.